Hi, welcome! My name's Melody from MelodyCrochet. Today I'm going to be celebrating Valentine's Day once again with a new cute project. I noticed that a lot of people had recently received a Clover heart-shaped pom-pom maker. It came along free with a magazine, so more people have been talking about it lately. Got mine a few years ago. It took me a minute to figure out how to use it. I figured I would go through it because some people have shared a little bit of frustration. It's used very differently from a regular Clover pom-pom maker. So here she is, isn't it cute? We'll go through the construction, how it's made, how it's used, and some little caveats to make sure that you don't get into the wrong end of it. But in the end, it's pretty simple. It's just a little bit more time intensive. It turns out pretty cute, but in case you do not have one of these, we're going to go ahead and make a regular heart-shaped pom-pom too. Just taking some scissors to a pom-pom and see how it turns out. We could work on that together. Because they aren't everywhere. Like, I got mine on eBay. I think it was a few years ago. I was looking through eBay, just searched yarn, as one does. Is that normal? I hope that's normal. But I'll get on and I'll just search yarn and see what listings are ending soon, just to see what's happening. And sure enough, it was there. It was a fabulous price. I had it and it was in my mailbox a few days later. And at first I was like, okay, so I use it the way I've made a million pom-poms. But that didn't work. It was just a frazzly mess. So I actually had to figure out how to use it. It comes with instructions, not the ones on the very back. You don't want to use those, the ones inside. I don't even know why those are on the back. I'm not sure what they were thinking. It doesn't correlate at all. It does not make a heart-shaped pom-pom. So let's get started, shall we? Hi guys. Okay, let's talk materials, shall we? Okay, I've got a bit of a mess going on here, so let's organize it. Now, if you're going to be going the route of this guy, you are going to require some little scissors because we have to dig into that ditch right there. And if you are going to be making the manual pom-pom around your hand, I like to have some big scissors because these would require patience, and I was not born with any. So these really help out. We'll probably use some little scissors maybe if you want to get into the details at the very end if you want it to look very particular, but I like these. They make the job go fast. And for the manual pom-pom, you'll also need a needle because I like to use that to weave my thread in for tying off the pom-pom. This is what I use to tie off pom-poms. It is size, I want to say 5. It's right in the middle of the mercerized cotton that you find in the doily cotton at the craft store. And works really well. He doesn't stretch, he's super strong, and it's great for hanging things up by. So he's a good knotter. I don't think I've ever been able to break this by hand. You guys might be different than me. I might just not be trying hard enough, but this stuff is so thin that it digs into your finger before it gives, and I don't like that feeling. So by my standards, it's super strong. Now, this is a form that I cut out of cardboard just by hand. There's no like, I didn't trace anything or anything. It's not perfect, but it's going to give me a good idea of what a heart shape is going to look like, and it's going to help you and me work together because you're going to know which end is up on your pom-pom easy, but you might not know which end is up on my pom-pom easily. So this guy's going to help us out with that. Now, this, on the other hand, is our pom-pom yarn. This is what he's going to be made out of. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this yarn, Air and Weight acrylic, and this is tropical pink, and it's just so pretty, and it just screams Valentine's Day in my mind. Baby pink is pretty, but this is like, wow, that's just, unless you are red, this is as vibrant as you're gonna get, and it's so pretty. If you have any questions about where anything is, I have a link to my blog post with links of where to find absolutely everything. I love this yarn. Is only found at Hobby Lobby. You can use any yarn though, preferably worsted weight. It goes so much faster. I've tried to use thinner yarn like the sport weight yarn. It turns out cute, but I just think it looks a little bit too shaggy. Totally up to you though. If you have red yarn, pink yarn, whatever kind of yarn in any weight, feel free to just give it a go. They're fun to make, and I think pom-poms of any size and shape are pretty adorable. So let's get started, shall we? Now, I'm going to start off with my handmade pom-pom. He's the fun one. These scissors are just beefy. Okay, before I even start, I get my wrapping thread out because you do not want to have your hand wrapped in 125 wraps of yarn and then be fiddling with scissors if you can avoid it. So lay them out there, find your middle point if you need to. I'm going to thread him onto my yarn needle. He is ready and able. Okay, let's wrap, shall we? I'm throwing my yarn on the floor so it doesn't get in my way. And I just wrap over all 4 fingers 125 times. It's a technical number. I'm not gonna put you through the pain of watching me wrap this many times, so we're just gonna swoop for a second. Okay, 125 wraps. I'm gonna snip off the working yarn. Then we take our threaded needle, we go down along the fingers, come out, go back up in the hole that we originally went into, between the fingers, go down the front and down the palm. Stay up there. Awesome. Now we're tying off. So I made a figure 8. We went down, came out, went back up, went in the same hole I first went into, came down the inside, came out. That way we have a figure 8. Nice and neat. We can slide it off of our fingers pretty securely. Give it a tug. Take it off the needle. Put the wedding ring back on because I, without fail, when doing that figure 8, tie the pom-pom onto my wedding ring. There we go. Boop, boop. Urgh. Good strong knot. Make it a surgeon's knot, square knot, whatever you call it. Good and tight. Wrap it around. Tie the front. Same kind of knot. Just a good, secure bind. Otherwise, they come apart. It's sad. I want these to last for a while. So here we are. We have our little bun of yarn, which is adorable all by itself, but we're going to make it a pom-pom, okay? So let's take our tiny little scissors and go to town. Woo! So much faster than the itty-bitty ones. As precise? Probably not. Woo! I have way too much fun with this. Okay, I'm sure that there are some loops in there still. So I go loop hunting. Any over here? Looks pretty unlooped. Let's find the top, which is right there. Super cute. It is a very haphazard pom-pom. I would totally just work that on top of a hat. I love a crazy pom-pom. The ones that are like perfect, I don't love that as much, but it's not going to work for our heart project. So we're going to find the top. We're going to claim it as top. We're going to smash this form right on top of it. Smash, smash, smash. Make sure this stays secure so it doesn't get cut. We're going to go to town. Right along the edges. You too, mister, on the other side. Okay. This saves so much time. If you do it the other way, where you actually form it, you end up just in this cycle of turning the pom-pom around until you can't tell where you started. So I'd say, in my mind, hey, there's some loops. Oh no, there's not. in my mind, that's pretty close to the form. And that's about all we'll need it for. After this, it's all eyeball. So we frizz him out. Now, normally you would hang it, but you're not going to be able to see it if I hang it. So we're going to get him laid down. Here's what we have. He's super cute so far. Let's flip him over. Get his hair done. And just give him a little haircut on the back too. Not massive, I'm just kind of contouring. You can see how he's a little haphazard when you look at him from the top angle down. I'm just getting rid of that. Just going for a more rounded look. Right here, you see those guys shagging about. So, by my standards, we are done. You'll find you'll never stop finding little strands that don't belong. But it's pretty cute, am I right? And I'm going to have probably about 8 of them made up in no time at all. You saw, I mean, it took no time at all to make these. And they are just so cute hanging from the mantle. Wow, that one is super long. See, like I said, you never stop finding crazy strands. But if you stop looking, you'll stop finding them. It's the only way, really. But look at that. Isn't that cute? Just little heart-shaped pom-poms. Oh my gosh. I didn't stop looking. There we go. And they're cuter when they're hanging than they are lying on their back like this. But, oh, isn't that cute? I can't even with that. That is just adorable. So, that is our little handmade pom-pom in heart form. And I can hang these from my mantle as is. We are going to try something that I saw while wandering around though. And that is shaping it just a little bit with glitter nail polish. Don't laugh. I saw it. It looked cute. I'm like, okay, let's try that. So I have here some extreme Sally Hansen hard as nails nail polish in strobe light. It's kind of a pinky, I guess silver, iridescent, and pink glitter mixed together. And I said, that sounds about right. We are just going to shape it a little bit with the nail polish. I don't know if that's doing much for me. I do like glitter though. And I guess it does kind of keep the strands in a certain direction. What do you guys think? A little better? I don't know. That's up to you. But we are going to move on to the pom-pom maker. That is kind of cute. I kind of like the glitter. I'm a fan of glitter though. So let's put this guy aside so he can dry. We're not going to need the needle. We won't need the great big scissors or the heart form for this. We will need a length, probably about 24 inches of our tying thread. Let me get the end of my yarn ready. Set this over here. Let's do this. I'm excited. Okay, here he is. Let's study his anatomy. He has a heart right there and a heart right there. And those hearts have to be facing the same direction. Otherwise, they're not symmetrical. They need to be if they're going to form a heart. They also have feet. That's what I'm going to be calling those the feet when I say set him on his feet. And right here, he has pegs. There's pegs here and here and here. But if you look right here, these are actual pegs. How they stick out. We're going to be, oops, wrong. Right here. how those little pegs stick out like little ears. We're going to be using that later. So let's get started. We open them up. I'm going to be cutting the yarn after filling up this one and before filling up this one. When I make a pom-pom, usually I don't do that. I'm really not that careful. It's not that big of an issue. But with this one, we really want everything to be separate. So I'm going to be filling up this one first. Not like I normally do. See how it has little cells? We fill up the cells one at a time. So holding on to my tail of yarn, I'm going to go ahead and start at this end and fill up. Woo! And then in to the next cells. You can't skip ahead. You have to do them one cell at a time. And to the fourth cell. Fifth cell. Sixth. Number 7. And we'll just go for 8. As long as you stay in the area, you're in good shape. I'm going to go ahead and cut off that working yarn and close this guy up. Woo! I'm on a path of destruction. There we go. Opening this, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And there we are. Wrap, wrap, wrap. So what we have left is these two guys are closed up, but they don't close very much. Like they're definitely gapping, and that's okay. I'm going to cut the ends just a little bit. Take out my working yarn. Put this guy on his feet, straddling my line. Bring this above. Woohoo! There it goes. Teeter-totter. And then I'm crossing these and making a double tie. So the one on the bottom goes over and then over again. It's just slightly more secure without being permanent. And I think I have him well. Before tightening it, check the bottom. Yep, he's between the legs, between the feet on the sides. We're in good shape. Then we give that a nice secure tug. And we take these guys, and that's when these come in handy. Going around those little feet right there. And then there he is. And I'm going to go twice because you really do not want this to come undone until you tell it to. So around the feet over here too. Now these look like they might be feet, but they're not. These are going to be toward the top. If the feet are at the bottom, there's the heart right there, top of the heart's there, bottom of the heart's there. The top is where you've tied it, and that's where the pegs are, not down lower. So what we have here looks like this. We're secure, we're tied, and we're straddled well. Now comes the cutting. So you are going to cut in the ditches above here and here, over here, and here. There's 4 ditches total, so 4 ditches. And it's going to be very different cutting the first ditch of a side than it is cutting the second ditch because you're going to lose all the tension. Right here I have a lot of tension that I'm cutting through. The other side is not going to have that, but you still want it to be cut the same, so be mindful of that. You don't want to be pulling too much on it after it loses its tension. So just snip slowly, be patient. send me a message below on how you're patient, because I've never developed that. There we go. And you just cut right through the ditch. And make sure you get through every single strand. And now the other side. Now hopefully you're still secure on your sides. Looks like I am. And we're just going to flatten these out right here. Just these middle areas, not out here, just these. They look like carpet. They're really tightly packed at this point, and you are just flattening those. Both sides. Okay, so that's where we are right now. Now this guy is going back down on his feet. Then, once he's there, you're going to unsecure the side threads from their little prongs. Okay, don't let go. This is when the magic happens. He's sitting on his feet. You have your thread. Remember, it's not a secure knot. It can still move. So it's sitting, and then you slowly pull. And that's when he became a heart. All of those side threads that were snipped between the two ditches just got pulled inside to make this heart pom-pom fuller, which is awesome, right? Let's get these trimmed before we go any further. And we're gonna don't cut. But we are going to secure this knot. So double and double again. Now my instinct in pom-pom making would be to go around the other end like this and tie it, but then we'd have a string coming out at the bottom of your heart. So you have to only tie at the top end. So it's okay. It seems to work out well because it's so dense it doesn't tend to have an issue. So I double knotted after the yank. I double knotted on top. So he's pretty secure. And right now it pulled apart quite a bit on its own because it got so full all at once. But don't just yank these apart right now because you will take some of the strands with you. Go ahead and open the sides. And then take the little pieces apart. Let's see what we were left with. Where's the top? Okay, so here's the top. Kind of pull these down a little bit like we did the other pom-pom. Give it the benefit of the doubt. Pull the point down. And I'd say not too shabby. You know, it's hard to make carpet look like a heart. So I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt here, but I think it's cute. I think it's pretty awesome. In comparison, where's my first friend? I could always add glitter because I'd hate to compare something with glitter to something that doesn't have glitter. I don't know. I think I'd put this on a hat. If you did, you'd want to take these two right here because you wouldn't want to attach the heart upside down. So you would go ahead and take these two and take a knitting needle and just take them on through right the middle of him. So you could attach like that. Or you could make like a little crochet chain and kind of let one or two of them dangle from the top of the hat, which would be really cute. But It could use a little bit of cleanup. I'm hesitant. Less is more with these. They already have a pretty good shape because of how much trimming we did before we took it out. There we go. That's pretty cute. I'm pretty pleased with that. So if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, please leave those below. I really enjoy reading them. If you have this, I'd love to hear about your experiences, what you've made with it in the past. If you have made pom-poms just manually and you have any suggestions on what you do differently, I would also love to hear any tips or tricks because I'm going to be making quite a few of these and hanging them from a garland on my mantle. And I'm pretty pleased with the glitter. I don't know if it's the best way to go about it. I think my best bet would probably be to use a little bit of spray adhesive and then sprinkle some glitter. But I like where she was going with that. That's pretty cute. And I like this pom-pom in general. I think that using this form really made a big difference. So I'm very pleased with that. If you have any questions about what I've used, that will be linked below. There's a blog post with all the links to all the objects that I've used. If you would like to stay in contact, I'm going to be making some more Valentine's Day objects, hopefully before the 14th. And then after that, I will be starting a pillow brigade where I'm going to be sharing the making of several pillows because I got about 4 pillow forms over at IKEA this weekend. So I think it's time to make some pillows, definitely crocheted. And have a happy Valentine's Day. Take good care. Bye-bye.